Hey everybody, it's Mr. Caldwell. Wanted to run through answers to the what does a light bulb do lab that was posted. I guess that would have been on Tuesday, April 21st. So I've got the basically all the circuits already pre-made over here. So we're going to jump right in. And the first one says click on the battery and change it to 3 volts. So down here at the bottom, hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to go down. Sorry for the noisy clicking. So I make the battery 3 volts, and that's what I'm going to use for all of them. I've gone ahead and done that for all the other batteries and all the other circuits. And it says, okay, so we make this, close the circuit, and we make an observation, okay? It's moderately bright, and we've got a current of 0.3 amps. So I'm going to write that over here, 0.3 amps, all right? And we'll go ahead and leave that one on so we can look at them all at the same time. Now I've got a 2-bulb circuit, and we've got now an additional light bulb, same battery, more light bulbs. And I close that circuit, and lo and behold, twice the number of bulbs, and I have half the current. Well, that's an interesting observation. So let me go ahead and make a note of that, 0.15 amps. Right? Is the current in the 2-bulb circuit more or less or the same? Well, we're going to definitely say that it is less in the 2-bulb circuit. All right, what do you observe about the light bulbs in the 2-bulb circuit as compared to the 1-bulb circuit? Well, if you look at the brightness, looks like these bulbs are definitely dimmer. All right, so 2-bulb circuit bulbs are dimmer. Right, so we'll leave that one on, we'll leave that one on, and then we just move the ammeter to a different place in the circuit. Same number of bulbs, 2 bulbs, same battery, and we close that, and lo and behold, looks like the same brightness is there, looks like the same current readings, and so is the current more or less or the same as before? So that would be current is the same. Did the order of the circuit components have any impact on the circuit? Well, it certainly looks like it did not. And I can't get in, I can't get that. So that should be no right there. And then it says add a 3rd light bulb. So I've gone ahead and added the 3rd light bulb, and we'll scroll on down. It says close the switch and measure the current. And so I close the switch, measure the current, and lo and behold, I've gone from 30 with 1 bulb, 2 bulbs cut it in half, 3 bulbs, that's actually 1/3. So that looks to be like a pattern here. And this is what we're getting ready to explore here as we continue through this week. So if I had to write down some answers here, is the current more, less, or the same? It's definitely less here. What do you observe about the light bulbs? It's really super hard to see, but these lines are teensy tiny, especially compared to these, and for sure compared to these. So these are going to be the dimmest. So this is the dimmest light bulbs of all. Don't let anyone ever say that you're the dimmest light bulb of all, because you're not. All right, based on this experiment, what does the light bulb do in the circuit? Well, it does a couple of things. One, as we add light bulbs, okay, we're making it, apparently, since I'm getting less and less current to flow through the circuit, it probably makes sense that we're making it harder for the electricity to flow. So one of the things that the bulbs do, right, bulbs are resistance to electrical flow. The more bulbs that I put in, one after another, I'm putting in more, shall we say, barriers, things that make it harder for the electricity to flow through. And the second thing that the bulbs are doing, the bulbs are converting, because the battery has something, right? It's a pusher, it's a pump. And in pushing and pumping the charges through the circuit, what it's doing is it's giving those charges energy, right? And so those bulbs are converting electrical potential energy into, in the case of a light bulb, light and mostly heat. If you ever had a Betty Crocker, one of those Easy Bake ovens, the thing that you cook on with an Easy Bake oven is a light bulb. So very, very inefficient in terms of creating light. They mostly create heat. That's why these new LED bulbs are so incredibly efficient. For very little electricity, you get the same amount of light as you do for a pretty large amount of electricity from a traditional incandescent light bulb, which is what we're talking about here. Which circuit component, light bulb brightness or the ammeter, is a better scientific instrument for measuring current? Look, bright, less bright, dim, that's not very exact. But if I wanted to use some actual science and get some values, the ammeter is the way to go. It gives actual numerical values to the current flowing. All right, so now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna change all these batteries to 9 volts, and then we'll just look and see what we see there. So let me just pause the video. Goodness, I thought I paused the recording there, guys. Sorry about that. So we're still going. You just watched me there clicking on stuff or staring at the computer screen. So sorry about that. So look, let's finish this up real fast. So if I click and I go ahead and make this 9 volts, which is what I've done for all of them, and I'm gonna go ahead and just close these guys off. So we've got our 1 bulb, 2 bulb, and 3 bulb. And you'll notice that, so I've got a current over here on the 1 bulb of 0.9 amps. The brightness is way bright. All right, over here, the current is 0.45 amps, and it is definitely bright, but not anywhere near as bright as the first single bulb. And then this one here, the current is 0.3 amps. And these are sort of bright. All right, so what part of the circuit controlled the voltage? Hopefully you guys are seeing that the way that we control the voltage, the amount of energy that these charges have, is through the battery. How did adding bulbs to the circuit change the current? All right, in both cases, whether it was a 9-volt battery or a 3-volt battery, as I added bulbs, we clearly saw that the current decreased. All right, so adding bulbs always decreased current. Now, the way that we added these is important. They were always added one after the other. There's no optional paths. There's only one path through these circuits. We will explore multiple path circuits. Those are a little bit more complicated. But for right now, if stuff is just in a row, all right, as we add bulbs, the bulbs get dimmer. And then what did tripling the voltage do to the amount of current? So if I go back and I think about this, my original values were 0.3, 0.15, and 0.1. I tripled the voltage, and I think you guys can see that in all 3 cases, it looks like tripling the voltage tripled the current. Tripling the voltage tripled. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys, and I will see you guys online soon. Everybody be well. Bye-bye.